Tonight, two cash and transit operatives on a routine escorting job find themselves pelted with a hail of bullets. Unable to fire back, the vehicle becomes their weapon of defense and retaliation. A high-speed chase, a shootout, a fight for life and death. Tshwane, South Africa's administrative capital and a city known for its zero tolerance and stringent law enforcement. But even then, the criminals don't rest. This is where our heroes for this week found themselves the target of an unbelievable attempted heist.
Okay, my name is Leo Prinsloo, currently 54 years old. I've got a girlfriend, I've got two children, Carla and Liam. Carla is my 2IC currently in my company. She helps me with my training.
Ek is Carla Prinsloo, ek is 20 jaar oud en ek werk voltyds saam met my pa. Ek werk eintlik al vir lank vir hom, maar ek het hierdie jaar het ek eers voltyds vir hom begin werk.
Carla, she has grown up being in this environment. She's used to what we do. She's used to firearms, knives, self-defense, and she's such a perfect wingman. And it makes me, my heart proud and big-chested here to know that she has taken responsibility for herself and she can teach people to do that.
So as 'n vroulike instrukteur, is dit nogals moeilik in die bedryf en my pa in daai opsig, hy is baie supportive met dit. As ons soos op die baan is en ons doen 'n basiese skietopleiding, dan is ek basies maar sy sidekick oral waarna toe ek gaan en ek help uit waar ek kan. As ek iets verkeerd doen, ek sal daarvan weet, my pa sal dit baie duidelik maak dat ek iets verkeerd gedoen het.
Kamotozani, Elisilungu Lloyd, Sibongo Mthombeni, ngihlala eDaveyton, ngina 33. Ngiku-security industry, ama-armed escorts, and then sometimes ngenza ama-private calls. Mangijoyina ama-armoured escorts, bekuyi-first time experience kuma-armoured escorts. But kusebenza ngesibhamu, driver ne-escorts, bekuyinto vele engi-used to. Just ukuthi bekuyi-different department yama-escorts, high value. Ngisebenze for 1 week. Second week, that's when I was assigned ukuthi ngisebenze no Leo. It's from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Thursday, then bas attack again.
Die besigheid waarom my pa was, veral die sekuriteitsafdeling van sy lewe, dit was nogal stresvol van tyd tot tyd, want jy is nooit seker van hoorie, is my pa genaak, is hy nog veilig, waar is hy?
Having children places the focus definitely on a different level. You make sure, and you need to make sure that you go home. That's a motivation point, and to find a reason to do your job effectively and do what you have been trained for. The incident was the first time that I've been in a gunfire fight type thing since I've left the police. What I've been trained in and what I train really kicked in that day.
The day in question, a Thursday in April 2021, Leo and his partner Lloyd are on duty in an armoured vehicle.
On that particular day, it was actually a type of a favor for a friend. They said to me they're going to give me a young guy that hasn't been exposed to this particular type of work. Lloyd had a armed security background at that stage, and I said to them, if something is going to happen, I need to use my vehicle as the first weapon of choice.
Mabang assign no Leo. I knew that he has a lot of experience and it's what I needed. From Monday, we used to talk about what to do, plus the training background.
The only thing that you've got to fall back on is your mind and we call it pre-visualization. You prep your mind for possibilities. And we play the what-if game constantly.
On Thursday, we had coffee, ngaboma 9, ngiyakhumbula kahle. Sikhuluma ukuthi namhlanje siphuma a bit late. So, mangabe bayavela sizobarema. We're just planning our day. The moment uceda ukugibela i-N1. That's when this thing started.
And I thought I would pick them up because we know the modus operandi that these guys uses. There was a particular gang that targeted the cell phones that we've escorted, and the modus operandi was always the same. We were expecting them to come from the blind side. The first time I knew it happened was when the first shot rang out.
Normally, bafika neemoto ezi-3 or more. Mabasifake ebhokisini, what I mean is that if a car izodlula ibheke ukuthi le moto lesikuyo nabantu abayingaki, and then i-second car iyoke le yathi ekhaya sibiza ukuthi ugunman, and then i-third car yile ebheke ukuthi if kuyenzeka ukuthi siyaphuma emotweni we fight back bazonikeza labantu laba i-backup laba ababhizi nathi.
I wasn't aware where they were, aware that at that moment, but as I looked, then I spotted them in the mirror. I saw the window being shattered. Then I was looking in my mirrors like a little meerkat. My head was like going like crazy. You know, that's where the cat and mouse game started pretty much.
Hey, Matonda. We've seen a lot of chances on Vimba, Mara. These guys, they are too well coordinated. This is a professional heist mission. And it gets worse when we come back. We're in Pretoria, and 2 security men are on the job escorting a van carrying cell phones. They find themselves being shot at. In South Africa, cash and transit heists are not uncommon, and criminals take on vans carrying cash and goods in the hopes of a big score. Grant Clark is the head of the Cash and Transit Association in South Africa, and he knows just how well planned and coordinated these types of attacks are.
My name is Grant Clark. I'm the head of the CIT Association of South Africa, SATASA, and we are the voice of the industry for the cash and transit industry. So we assist the companies in the marketplace to capture data, we look at analytics, we look at hotspot areas, and we provide information on CIT-related incidents in South Africa. So we unfortunately have seen an increase in 2023 in the number of CIT incidents that have been taking place. From January this year, 2023, until the end of March, we've seen a 24% increase in the number of incidents. Specifically, just looking at the month of March, comparing to last year, 2022, we've seen a 37% increase in the number of incidents.
Ama-escorts kahle are dangerous. Mawuvuka ekuseni emsebenzini, you know that you might get hit. Ngizwe nge-first shot ngapha ku-driver's door ewindweni ukuthi okay manje sekunjalo. Ngazi lapho ukuthi okay manje nako sebakhona.
The courier vehicle was about 500-600 meters in front of us. I was busy changing lanes, and as I moved over from one lane to another, I heard the gunshots. As I looked, I saw the windows being shattered. I looked at them and they were at my 5 o'clock in relation to my vehicle. My idea was I swerved towards them and I braked really hard, hoping they would bump into me, activating the airbags and disabling their vehicle. But these guys are trained and they kept on avoiding me.
Their modus operandi is to eliminate the escort vehicle, to take it out, because that could cause them problems. So what they do normally is they fire at the vehicle, firing at the tires to try and get the vehicle to come to a standstill, to take you out of the equation so that they can get to the valuable goods that they want to get their hands on.
When he handed me the gun, he was actually saying, okay, cock the gun and get ready to shoot.
I saw a little smoke coming out of the engine and I thought, well, maybe the car's engine has been compromised in some other way. If the car is going to come to a stuttering halt, I would have to go to plan B. I will have to exit the vehicle.
So in the CIT industry, our training of our individuals are to stay in the vehicle as far as possible, because the vehicle is armoured, it's there to protect them. However, when their lives become threatened with explosives and they are threatened with firearms, then they are forced to exit the vehicle.
I looked there in front, I saw the guys stopping the bike that we escorting.
The occupants of that vehicle was on foot on the highway and they would move towards the courier van. courier van's driver and his passenger, they climbed out and they ran down the highway.
When they design armored vehicles, kuna shooting ports, if maybe there's a threat, you can open the port and pull out your gun. So leya moto besamba ngayo thina bengana shooting ports. Nokuyi-moto nje amariwe without shooting ports. So into bemele siyenze besimele silwe ngayo.
They've shot my front tire out, so the vehicle was not maneuvering as I wanted it to maneuver. So I just tried to scare them away from the courier van as I went past them. I knew the Audi, the second vehicle, was still behind me somewhere. So I had a look. When I looked in the mirror, I saw him. And then I observed the white bucky coming past me on the left-hand side, so I swerved into him. He managed to keep the car on the road, and off he went. The Audi was behind me, then left, then right. At one stage, he came in past me on the right-hand side. I went hard for him, but those cars are really quick and powerful. I bumped him on the bumper, but again, he managed to keep the vehicle on the road. And then I decided, well, they are gone. Let me go back to the courier van, see where the driver and the crew are, and keep an eye out for the actual merchandise.
So every way we kept on doing ama U-turns, but now we decided to buy a U-turn. The guys lava bamba ama heist ne. The moment uzwa first shot and then uza mukulwa nabo, they see what okay, these guys manje, they're trying to fight, then back cancel the mission. So that day, those guys bafuna benukulwa nathi.
And I thought, let me try and get them with a vehicle. So I went after them again.
Hi. Ke khala filimus happening on the freeway. Surely this is over.
Normally they shoot from inside the car, but that day they came out of the car. There were 4, and then they shot at us every way. That was the experience angaze nibebuyo before, ever.
I'm Robbie. I'm Josh. Welcome with it off.
Robbie is the manager of the company, and Josh was the other member of the company working on another vehicle, but in the same area.
Tell them we are here, we're getting attacked. Can they come pick us up? Mangbamba ifoni, Chemili, ifoni. Everything was just messy.
He had difficulty finding the names. It's difficult to perform small precision tasks when you're under pressure. You experience a loss of fine motor coordination. The other thing is they had a signals jammer, so you wouldn't have been able to make the call even if you got to the names and so forth. And then the Audi pulled away. I thought, well, let me try and catch him up in the traffic. So we went, and as we entered the street, there's a hotel. For some other unknown reason, he pulled in there, but there were spikes in front of him, and he parked, and I ran into him. I wanted to push his tires into the spikes to flatten his wheels, but my angle again bumped his backside of his car out, and he pulled off, and he ended up on one of those big round concrete balls. He got stuck. At that stage, I was a little bit filled with rage, and I wanted to drive straight through his car. So I pulled off, and I ended up in the road, climbing the pavement, but with my momentum, I bellied my vehicle on top of those concrete balls, unfortunately, and I was stuck. And that's when I decided to exit.
Churr! Is it just me, or were these guys too cool and collected while all of this was going down? And he's still getting out of the vehicle. I don't know about you, but I need a drink of water. See you on the other side of this. And let's hope this thing is really over. Leo Prinsloo and Lloyd Mdombeni are trained cash and transit security personnel. But like you and me, they are also fathers, brothers, and human beings. All their training couldn't have prepared them for the situation they faced when a well-oiled criminal gang shot at them and tried to drive them off the road.
The passengers of both other vehicles, the Audi and the white bucky, they were offloaded on the highway, and they pretty much escaped on foot.
So the first vehicle that saw us and then ukuthi singakhe emotweni, I didn't see ukuthi iphelele kuphi. The last vehicle that was behind us, I also didn't see ukuthi iphelele kuphi. So that day masihlika emotweni, a getaway driver. He ran, he came out of the car running with the law. If a person is running and they don't have any fire, your life is not in danger, you cannot shoot them.
The unfortunate thing is that the gang, everybody managed to escape.
And then cops came after this whole thing happened. And then we managed to recover the motor that had armoured gloves, what they are using in our bullet holes, meaning that they've been using it kuma heist.
So the actions taken by Leo and Lloyd in the incident that we're speaking about must be commended. They were extremely brave in the actions that they took. Stopping that incident from actually taking place was in actual fact in line with their duties on the day.
En veral met die insident, dit was nog 'n groot skok op ons. Wel, veral op my want ek is 'n daddy's girl. En die eerste ding wat ek kon onthou toe my pa vir my gesê het as hulle is genaak, ek het net begin huil. Soos 'n klein babietjie wat nie weet wat om te doen nie. Ek het net begin huil en huil en huil.
For their families and loved ones, we at Vimba are relieved that Leo and Lloyd came out of this one on top, and they deserve all the praise social media had for them.
A week after, I got the video from my brother. I was still in bed when I saw the video and I went pale. And I had that ice bucket feeling. The video trended and the social media went ballistic. I've got a little bit of a problem with social media because of things like this. You know, they take a good deed and they take it out of context. And then you get the keyboard warriors that was always clever in hindsight. Lloyd should have done this and he should have done that. You know, come and sit next to us when the bullets is flying. I dare you. Come and see how you are going to manage the situation.
My mom got upset more. Guti, I told you, instead, the more these things happen, you still want to continue with the job.
But the publicity also brought some unwanted attention.
When na daai video uitgekom het, was die hele wêreld net upside down vir ons. En ek's op Instagram en ek kyk en ek kom toe op 'n thread af en ek screenshot dit en ek stuur dit vir my pa. En van daar af toe gaan ons in soos 'n safe house tiperige opset in. Dit was net chaos na daai video uit is want almal oorweldig jou met vrae.
First of all, I was really upset because there was 3 angles, there was 3 videos, just one outside, the inside cab and one from the back. Why our faces? And it could have been to expose us, could have been to, you know, everybody knows about us now, but now the criminals also know who we are. But in the aftermath, you know, it really turned out well for me. So whoever did leak it, you know, wherever you are, thank you.
And we're just glad that we in South Africa can claim you as our very own real-life stereo.
Ja, 100%. My pa is regtig 'n hero. Almal stem saam daarmee, want almal admire hom in daai opsig na die video uitgekom het.
The way Mr. Leo handled the situation, he was a hero. It also made me to feel more calm and want to get these guys so bad. I wanted to get these guys so bad.
Everybody around, every good person out there needs to make work of it to take responsibility for their own safety. And if you are getting inspired by any person that's on this program, we need to stand together as ordinary citizens of the country. And if we're not going to change it, we're going to be miserable for the rest of our existence.
But we all can't skop skiet and donor. So, should you find yourself caught in the middle of a high-speed chase or a gunfight between criminals and CITs, you could run like the guys transporting the goods. No judgment there, my gents. Or you could listen close to what Mr. Grant advises.
So I think to the members of the public, the advice that we from a SATASA perspective would like to give them, if you come across a situation like this, or if you're caught up in a situation like this, stay as calm as you can, don't become involved, don't try and be a hero, don't video, don't let the perpetrator see you videoing, because you will get shot. There have been a number of civilians that have been injured. When you see a member of a cash in transit operation taking place by either somebody carrying money across the pavement or the actual cash in transit vehicle, stay away, stay clear of those people. They've got a very important job to do. They're under a lot of pressure. So if you find yourself, involved in one of these incidents because you are just there at that time when the shooting takes place, in the safest means possible, slow down, see how quickly you can get yourself out of that situation. Let that situation rather move away from you. It is unfortunately high pressure when you start hearing gunshots around you and so on. So, be as calm as you can and try and get yourself out of that situation as quickly as possible. Look, when you come across a situation like that and you are capable of making a telephone call to the law enforcement authorities, 10111, the police, we also have, as SATASA, have a hotline number. So, and we've got to be on a number of media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So, please go and have a look at those, because there are a lot of tips on those sites that you can also have a look and educate yourself with in terms of what you should be doing. Look, in many of these incidents that take place, as I say, they take place in areas where there are communities, and the communities, after the attack has taken place, go and loot cash on the scene. It's extremely dangerous. Not only are you destroying evidence on a crime scene, you're also committing theft by taking money that doesn't belong to you. Also, you're putting your life at risk, because there could be secondary explosives on that vehicle that haven't detonated. And if you've got 30, 40, 50 people scratching around in a vehicle that's just been blown up, and you have a secondary explosion, you can imagine the devastation that would cause. So our advice is to the public. I know it's very difficult out there. There's a lot of, from a socio-economic point of view, people that need cash. But please, we request that you stay away from these scenes and that you don't put your own life in danger and that you don't commit a crime.
I hope those of you who run out of your homes to go and grab burning money notes and stealing off fallen trucks take note. We see you. Sinbegi. As we've seen, criminals on this level plan and coordinate like it's a serious operation. And then there are those who go in unprepared. Yeah, ne?